All right, this lesson is going to be the study guide that we're going to use for creating the logo quiz. And what this is going to do is show you how to work with your logo and create it so that you know how to take your quiz this coming week. So we're going to open up a new document, and we're going to make sure that it is letter size and that it is set in inches and that it is portrait. So you can see the changes I just made. Letter, 8.5 by 11 inches, inches is a unit, and portrait. And we're going to say OK. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin to create our document. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our rulers. So the first thing we need to do is go to View and Show Rulers. You can also use the Command R. I'm also going to zoom out just a bit, and I'm going to set my origin, which is this little area right here. Click and drag and set the zeros to this top left corner. So I have 0 on this ruler and now 0 over here on this ruler. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to set the ruler guides, and I'm going to create a 6-inch square. So I'm going to drag down to the 1 inch on the ruler, and then I'm going to drag down to the 7-inch on the ruler. That's going to give me a 6-inch top to bottom. And now I'm going to use my other ruler here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take it out to the 2, or any number you want. That's fine as long as you have a 6-inch square. Now I'm going to select my shapes. I'm going to select my ellipse, and I'm simply going to drag my square or my circle from this square that I've just created. There you go. I've got a 6-inch by 6-inch circle. Now I'm going to take this circle and I'm going to take this up to 6 points, or pixels. Points, excuse me. And now I'm going to take my fill and select none. So it should look like this. Now I'm going to get my and clear my guides. I'm actually just going to hide them or clear them. It's up to you, but I don't want to see them. I'm going to go ahead and clear them. I don't need them now. Now I'm going to go ahead and I can recenter this if I like. And I'm going to take this, maybe bring it down just a little bit, and this is what you can do. And now I'm going to go ahead and take my line segment tool, and I'm simply going to click and drag and start to create the segments of my line here. Okay, and there we go. So I'm just going to do this from top to bottom, and I'm just going to set this in so it's a nice straight line. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And it should intersect right in the center. And now I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm just going to try to have nice equal sections. Don't panic if yours is not completely perfect. I just want to see that you can do this. Okay. That's all we want here. And these should intersect right here in this center here. And if they don't panic. We can fix it. Okay, we can work with this. So I'm just taking my time here, centering this up, trying to get it to run right through the center, or as close as possible. And like I said, don't panic if it's not perfect. We can move these if we need to, and that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to move these a little bit as we need to. How do I do that? I'm going to take my direct selection tool, select anywhere, click once out here anywhere, then I can take this and I can move it over just a hair and help to center these. And as long as you're close, that's all we need. We just need to be close. And I'm just going to realign these just a little bit right through a center point so that they're of equal, as close as I can get to being equal. If one is a little bit off, that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just moving these a little bit to sort of equal them up. If they're not perfect, don't panic. You're fine. I just want to see that you can get these close and get them, you know, in a close approximation to each other. This one's off just a little bit here, and it's just off by a hair. So there we go, nice and centered. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start to create the colors and the shapes that are going to go in here. And so we have our swatches here. Okay, so we're going to use this, and we're going to go ahead and make sure that we get this nice and neat real quick. We're going to use our pen tool, and I'm just going to set this color just across the top here. I'm going to select just outside, and don't panic if it's not even. And I'm going to take and I'm going to make this a nice thin line here. I'm going to take this down to basically nothing, but just so you can work with it and see it. I'm going to keep it at 1 point. And now I'm going to take my direct selection cursor and I'm going to drag this right onto the black line. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And now we're set. Now I'm going to take my pen tool and I'm going to create this additional part to this lesson here. And I'm going to now take this and I'm going to move it into position. Click and drag so that you can see this. You see I have my convert anchor point tool. I can bend this line. I'm going to go ahead and move this with my direct selection tool into position, and then I'm going to bend these lines so they're perfect. And now I'm going to go ahead, and that line is up here in the black hiding a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and fill this with red. There you go. You've just made that shape. Now I'm going to make the second shape. And I'm going to take my pen tool just outside, and we're going to go ahead and place it right about here. And don't worry if it fills with the same color. We're just going to make that shape there. And now we're going to go ahead and use the convert anchor point. We're going to use our direct selection tool here to move this. Now we're going to deselect and reselect, place this right on the line. Don't worry if it's off a little bit. And we're going to move this right into position. And notice that the anchor points snap into position with the previous anchor point. And now I'm going to curve this right, place this right onto that line. And I'm probably going to bring this down just a little bit and make a nice straight line. You can see the lines developing here. And you can see that nice little blue line. And now I'm going to go ahead and use my anchor point convert tool to bend that line a little bit. Now notice I'm going to use my anchor point here to keep a straight line. That's what you're going to do. And then I'm going to swing this arm up and just curve that a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing here on this side. I'm going to swing this arm so it's nice and straight. And now I'm going to swing this one up. And now I can go ahead and fill it with orange. And there you go. It's done. I'm going to do the next one. And I may have to resize these at the end, so don't panic if you have to resize one. I'm going to do another one here very quick, and hopefully we'll be able to move forward into the second part of this. I'm going to make a third shape here, and it's going to be orange again when I start to fill this. Now if you want to avoid that, you can select the none, and then it won't fill. Now I'm going to go right to this center line here, because I am going to balance these out. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a moment. And I'm just going to make this shape, and we're going to move it over to the black line here, and we're just going to place these on here. I'm going to use my convert anchor point tool, and I'm going to bend that line a little bit. I'm going to shape these, make sure my anchor point swing arm is set correctly, and I'm also going to do the same thing here on this side and swing this one over, and now we're going to select yellow, and there we go, we have a yellow. Alright, this is part 1 of this lesson. We're going to finish up and do part 2, so you're going to have to watch the second part to see how to send these to the back and put in the other colors and also your text and your font. Okay, good luck to you, and watch these videos and these 2-part videos, and we'll wrap this lesson up on the second part. Good luck.